This gyroscope mapping to the right stick is so effective, I recommend all major manufacturers implement it. For instance, I'm currently testing Red Dead Redemption. I'm drawing my gun to aim, and as you can see, I'm now using the gyroscope. Just by tilting it, it maps to my right joystick, allowing for precise control. Because in this game, once you draw your gun, you'll see my joystick movement is minimal. It features aim assist, which locks the joystick's radius, making aiming much easier. However, it's still not as convenient as using the gyroscope. A tiny movement is all it takes to aim in any direction. So how do we activate it? Let's just back out first, then we go into our settings, and under controller settings, there's a gyroscope aim assist option. Let's enable that. So here, I've chosen the right joystick. Just hold down L2. Doing that enables it. Then, set the sensitivity to 82, and it's all ready for use. Then, just set the X and Y axis offset to 5, and save. You can also map it to your left joystick, which works perfectly for playing games like Resident Evil 4. Alright, so for this game test, we'll be using the native Android version of the original Red Dead Redemption for our demonstration. First off, you can see I'm running at 60 frames with the resolution maxed out. When you start the game, it automatically recognizes the 4:3 screen ratio and goes full screen. Now, playing it feels like you've got an Xbox 360 paired with a 1080p television, creating quite an immersive effect. You can see the picture is incredibly smooth and remarkably fluid. Overall, the performance is pretty good. This game, it has aim assist and a quick draw feature. Plus, I can even use the gyroscope, which is a built-in function of the handheld itself. Oh, I've already broken the law. That's been introduced. Okay, so next up we're testing The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This one's a task on native Android, not an emulator. If you've seen Big Watermelon's videos, you'll know about this. You can see that in this 4:3 aspect ratio, when we choose the Hawk calling screen, it can activate our handheld's gyroscope simulation. Let's press A to release it. Updating Yuzu 1.4 Plus enables gyro simulation. It's a great experience. You can see with the 4:3 display, this is Twilight Princess at 4x resolution. No Switch remake needed. The visuals and experience are excellent. In my video recording, the colors might look a bit saturated. That's because when you first enter the game, it's set in a Twilight scene, and Link has absolutely nothing yet. Alright, let's take our little horse for a ride. You'll see it has this dynamic motion blur effect. That's right, a dynamic motion blur effect. That's the real impact of it. Alright, let's go, Epona. Let's ride, Epona. We're going to have an amazing time. Go. Dismount. Textures and effects are very nice. In first person, we can also use the gyroscope to look left and right. The experience is fantastic. I'm currently using normal mode with standard performance. Neither performance nor high performance mode is active. For this game, I definitely suggest turning on performance mode. The fan will kick on, so select the quiet fan setting. This is because in some of the later grassland scenes, the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 in normal mode tends to drop some frames. Alright everyone, next we're testing the open source version of Link's Awakening. This is a fan-made open source remake of the game. As you can see, we can use 4 items, the shield, the sword, and 2 additional items. And we can also make adjustments on the world map. It's set this way by default. We press the pause button, go into settings, then select the camera, choosing between the classic and modern perspectives. There, now we can see the entire map. This 4:3 screen, combined with this new version of Zelda Link's Awakening, I think it looks absolutely amazing. I personally really like this pixel art style. I think it's even better than the style of the remake, that toy-like style. You can see the sharpness of the image, the pixel art style, and the performance while running. There are no major issues at all. And the sound. The speakers are facing you, so the experience is really great. Playing this on a little handheld console, this open source version of Silksong, the effect is really nice. Everything, including the sounds of the crow's wings and the monster slaying effects, has been revamped, with the sole exception of the background music. It's all been reset. Also, while you're navigating the big maze, you're able to modify its status and change the map's display. Alright, moving on. We're now testing the PS2 emulator. Specifically, we'll be showcasing Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2 emulator. Folks test God of War, but Soul Calibur 3 on the PS2 emulator is really choppy, only 40-ish frames. Alright, upon exiting, we select High Performance Mode. You'll hear the fan immediately kick into Sport Mode, whirring intensely. The Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 is then completely unleashed, and the frame rate becomes exceptionally stable. Soul Calibur is fully 3D, like Soul Blade, and was visually outstanding on PS2. There's a native Android version, but using the emulator is significantly more demanding. We'll choose the Ninja. Look at him sway back and forth. When the camera loads facing the light, these effects are fine, no major issues at all. This is a typical low-resolution screen effect. There are no scan lines or jaggies, just native 1x PS2 resolution. The 4:3 aspect ratio with low resolution truly looks outstanding. Its high performance has an excellent screen, and its unique resolution delivers a really impressive result. So basically, if it can run Soul Calibur, it proves this machine's performance is well beyond the requirements for PS2 emulation. Okay everyone, next we're testing Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto Vice City, the remastered version. You can see the lighting and shadows. How do you know it's the remaster? If your right joystick can control the camera, it's the remastered version. And as you can see within the settings here, I'm not rating it, but in the general options, under settings, I've essentially cranked up the resolution all the way. Graphics. Yeah, max out the resolution. Alright, after maxing it out, look, it's super sharp. Extremely sharp. And this time, we'll still be using the gyroscope for aiming. Hold the left side, see? My activation key is L2. Once L2 is active, we can simply move the gyroscope to aim. This is a built-in feature of the handheld console, not the game itself. Any cops around? Take one out and grab a gun. You'll do. Hey. Why aren't there any police around here? Hold on a sec. Let's swipe a car and really put our joystick's linearity to the test. No, linear trigger, my bad. Alright, and this game. If you play it on the Switch, its linear trigger also functions quite effectively. Alright, so if we press it gently, you can see you move slowly. But then if we firmly press the trigger, the linear response becomes very quick. Brake, quick. Whoa. I really want this sports car. Oh, this linear effect is actually really good. You know, it's surprisingly effective, and it works so well. Now, the linearity of this machine, specifically the linear trigger from Shadia, is quite innovative. It's cleverly designed as a hinge. Take a look. Okay, next let's test the Android Turtles series. Now, this device's screen has a 4:3 aspect ratio, so when you play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it automatically adds a 21:9 letterbox effect for you. Alright. Let's pull off a special move. Forward. This D-pad from Shadia, it essentially uses the very same mold as certain other brands out there, you know. This time, they improved the mold, which is rare, by rounding the edges. Also, the 4 directional buttons on the D-pad are now much more pronounced. So when you're going back and forth, you only need to apply a very light touch, which works incredibly well, much better than it used to. And this time the joystick is fully raised, which also increases its range of motion. The joystick's full range of motion has become significantly larger. Alright, next up we'll be testing the native Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm series. Ultimate Ninja Storm also automatically letterboxes when played on this 4:3 screen. Now, this game currently doesn't support the native controller I/O connection. It strictly requires a Bluetooth controller. It must recognize an official Bluetooth gamepad to function, so you'll need to connect an additional one. Alright, so here we are using Hinata. So why are we testing this scene? You've probably noticed that many Android handheld consoles have great performance, but their GPU and CPU drivers aren't great, which causes screen tearing issues. The camera just did a wraparound effect. With the Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 processor, there are basically no major issues with game compatibility. Don't hold back. Roll eyes. Use a special move. This game has actually become a standard benchmark for testing our Android handheld consoles. Wow, that thunder outside is absolutely ferocious. We're having a typhoon today. Special move. Let's see the animation. Because the initial game, it doesn't utilize pre-rendered CG animation. Instead, everything is rendered in real time, you see. I can do it too. I can do it too. Absolutely no problem. Gentle snap twin lion fists. Okay, so this device's customized Android system is heavily modified. A lot of older games don't support anything above Android 14. So if we play this pool game, you can see it's the original version. I haven't changed anything. Just click and it plays. Well, the advantage is it natively supports various specifications of Android games. See? Old games work, no problem. So my Final Fantasy and other old Android game versions all work on this. There's no magic happening here by just brute forcing it. Ah, the remake of that FC Pool game. Alright, regarding the testing of other bundled games, we're utilizing this Pocket Play, which is the pre-installed front end on this device. Once we click into it, it prompts us to install these front end directories, which we've already completed installing. After they're installed, you just need to download the relevant ROMs for these games onto your TF card. Let's use GBA as an example. We press Y. After pressing Y, you see it has a game library and a directory, right? First, we need to select directory and confirm, then click Add. At this point, you need to select the directory on your TF card. For example, for GBA on your TF card, you click GBA, then click Use this folder. See? For these games, it lets you select your directory, and then it will sync. After selecting, click Sync, and it will scan for everything in that root directory. Once it's done scanning, you can use its game library to play. See, for example, Metal Slug, and other games like it. You just have to download the cover art yourself. Okay, for demonstration purposes, we'll stick with this GBA game. Since GBA games aren't a standard 4:3, it's in a 3:2 format here, so there are black bars at the top and bottom. You can also choose the native. Then there's the resolution, followed by adding an overlay. I haven't altered anything here, so I'm presenting the most direct visual effect for everyone. Alright, if you're not in the mood for gaming, simply press the pause and resume buttons, and you can exit directly to select the next game. So, how is this configured? First, we press back to go back. Then there's a 32-bit and 64-bit all-in-one emulator. After opening the emulator, we need to go to Settings, then Input. Here you'll find a System Hotkeys menu. For system operations, you'll need to map things like the back button, the hotkeys are here, game toggles, and exiting the controller. So here, pressing this button takes me back, and pressing this one quits the game. Got it, everyone? Don't press the menu button, don't touch it. Okay, once you're done setting it up, you need to go back to the home screen. Then select Configurations, then Save the current configuration, and it will remember your hotkeys. Also, some players ask, hey, why do I see virtual touch buttons on the screen when I start a game? You just need to turn off the overlay. Okay, now for 4x3 arcade games, let's test this. Street Fighter, Super Street Fighter 15th Anniversary Edition. First off, the new D-pad. The travel on the right side buttons is also shorter, not like the old long travel clicky buttons. This PC's too strong. I died. I was just randomly hitting all the buttons, just mashing everything without any plan or strategy, just hitting them all. Alright, one more round. Can't really tell anything from this. D-pad change makes it better. He's just mashing too. Reverse. Spin kick. Shoryuken, Shoryuken! Oh, I got it out, but stunned. Oh, it's over. Another combo. Dang it. Ah, never mind. Oh, again with the... Okay, let's reselect. We'll stick with this game, but let's pick a new character. Let's go with Chun-Li. Test her charge and lightning kicks. The travel distance on these ABXY buttons has been significantly shortened. They're still conductive rubber, but the feel is much softer and notably more comfortable now. Oh. No pass. No problem. Ah, I remember that Chun-Li's throw in this generation was a motion input, which made me whiff it. Let's give it another shot. No, it's still a charge move. No charge chance, so annoying. This computer's brutal. I can do the throw. Ugh, this computer is incredibly brutal. It just completely goes all out and attacks. Another combo. The controls feel great. No big issues. Okay, so just now I kind of played embarrassingly. There's no practice mode since it's the arcade version. Let's pick another PlayStation 1 game to test. Okay, you can see the overall, it's a 4x3 effect. Even in integer scaling, the 2D game looks so sharp. River City Ransom needs motion inputs too, like the hammer, forward, down, forward, punch. And this game is also good for testing forward and back inputs, because a lot of people play games like Street Fighter or this kind of side-scrolling beat-em-up. The D-pad requirements are very high, which is why this company has always stuck with a symmetrical layout. With the advent of the AI era, many PS1 games, including River City Ransom and Fighting Force, have now been localized. Gamers of this new era are really in luck. For older games, there's absolutely no language barrier at all now. There's a wall too? So brutal. Alright, let's keep moving forward with this. Alright, okay, next let's talk about the industrial design of this handheld console. First off, the most prominent hardware change is the D-pad. The company redesigned it from scratch with a new mold. Its four corners are notably raised, offering an excellent tactile press. It also features pre-travel, meaning a center press won't accidentally trigger other directions, completely preventing any unintended inputs. The D-pad feels lighter, featuring a dome switch underneath. The ABXY buttons are finally fixed, their height has been significantly reduced, and that previous overly clicky-clacky feel is gone. Now they offer a pleasant, short travel press. Start, select, home, and back buttons were also modified. The front speaker isn't loud, but the quality's great. The TF card slot gets stuck on the left when you first remove it. Then there's a 3.5mm jack plus a Type-C port. You can connect this to a monitor as it supports DisplayPort output. And on top, they've added M1 and M2 buttons. But I always mistake this M2 button for the power button. Also, the R1 and L1 shoulder buttons are especially long. You can see a molded indentation, a brand mark, proving an insert's presence. On the back, you can switch it out with various characters to replace it. You can see it as an insert here. What's the most captivating aspect of this machine? Despite its incredibly thin profile, it incorporates linear triggers. We refer to these as a door hinge style linear trigger. Due to its slenderness, the Hall sensor's overall travel, especially considering the suboptimal grip area, is quite impressive. Crafting such an extended Hall effect linear trigger within this structural design is truly remarkable. But this trigger has a risk. If you insert another hand while pulling it, it could pinch you or get foreign objects trapped. However, when you're quickly flicking it, it's generally not an issue. On the front, where your palm rests, they've made a chamfered edge, a downward slope. They created a slope, giving it an overall curved feel. Moreover, I personally find the M1 and M2 buttons here quite difficult to press. Your fingers must stretch out considerably, you have to really lift them up to reach them. Therefore, I suggest the company consider releasing a raised button cap in the future. Make this area a bit higher, then it would be much easier to press by simply touching the edge. Then the volume and power buttons. Regarding the fan, this is for intake and exhaust, and overall it feels really good to the touch. The company's inscription here, and there are only 4 screw holes. The rest is held together by clips. The back plate is here. Turn it sideways. After turning on the joystick, the light ring effect is still visible. The light ring remains illuminated. And the particular model I have features the SFC color scheme, making it truly beautiful to behold. Alright, this device also incorporates some rather special software enhancements. First, for screen fluidity, you can pick 120 or 60. It helps a lot with mobile or shooting games. And there's also a charging limit feature here you can open up. You can limit the charging capacity to 80%, specifically at 9 watts and 2 amps. Yes, an 80% limit, or more precisely, an 80% cap. You can opt to choose how to limit it, whether to limit this or limit that. Either way, it's all possible. Charging at 5 volts 2 amps or 9 volts 2 amps. The faster you charge, the quicker the battery degrades, so it's generally best to charge it to about 80 or 90%. That should be plenty.